Welcome to Leadership and Inner Clarity, Navigating Pressure, Presence and Performance, our podcast series where we explore the mental, emotional and psychological dynamics behind modern leadership and how to reconnect with yourself while leading effectively. I'm Falco Wiskirchen, leadership coach and naturopath for psychotherapy with over 12 years of experience supporting leaders in their professional and personal challenges. Today's topic is leading others while losing yourself, when identity becomes a job title. There's a quiet moment many leaders experience, often late in the evening or during a rare pause in the calendar. The phone is finally silent, the emails are done, no one needs a decision right now. And suddenly a question appears that's easy to push away during the day, but harder to ignore in stillness. Who am I when I'm not performing my role? For many executives and managers, this question feels uncomfortable, sometimes even unsettling. Not because they lack identity, but because their identity has slowly merged with responsibility, performance and function. Today I want to talk about what happens when leadership becomes not just what you do, but who you are. And why leading others while losing yourself is far more common than most leaders admit. In the beginning, leadership roles bring often a sense of meaning and direction. You step into responsibility, you are trusted, you are needed, your skills matter, your decisions have impact. And gradually, often without noticing, self-worth starts to align with output, with success, with being competent, reliable and strong. This isn't vanity, it's conditioning. In many professional cultures, identity is reinforced externally. Titles, status, expectations, recognition. The nervous system learns very quickly. When I perform, I belong. When I deliver, I'm valued. Over time, leadership stops being a role you inhabit and becomes the primary place where you experience worth. The risk here isn't ambition, the risk is exclusivity. When your sense of self lives almost entirely inside your job, leadership becomes heavy. Not because the work is hard, but because there is no inner ground outside of it. Many leaders describe this as a subtle emptiness they can't quite name. They are successful, respected, often admired, and yet something feels thin. Not dramatic, just quietly disconnected. Let's pause for a moment. As you're listening, notice how it feels to consider this question internally. If my role were gone tomorrow, what would remain of my sense of self? There's no right answer, just notice what comes up or what doesn't. From a psychotherapeutic perspective, role-based identity is a form of adaptive structure. It helps us navigate complexity. It provides orientation. It gives the ego something stable to hold on to. But when identity becomes too narrow, the inner system becomes fragile, because roles can be lost, changed, challenged, a reorganization, a crisis, a health issue, a personal loss. When identity is fused with performance, these moments don't just threaten status, they threaten existence. That's when leaders often experience anxiety, depression, or a sudden loss of motivation, that feels disproportionate to the external situation. It's not weakness, it is an identity shock. From a nervous system perspective, this creates chronic activation. Your system stays alert, vigilant, driven, because it believes safety depends on performance. Rest becomes difficult, presence becomes fragmented, even success stops feeling satisfying. Another place this shows up is in relationships. Partners may say things like, "You're here, but not really here." Children may experience you as distant, even when you're physically present. Not because you do not care, but because so much of your inner energy is invested in maintaining a role. Leadership identity can slowly crowd out other parts of the self: curiosity, playfulness, vulnerability, stillness. And when those parts go quiet, life becomes narrower. Leadership becomes efficient but less alive. Now, this doesn't mean you need to abandon ambition or responsibility. It means leadership needs to be held within a broader sense of self. Inner stability doesn't come from removing roles. It comes from not confusing them with identity. This shift is subtle but profound. Instead of asking, "Who am I when I succeed?" the deeper question becomes, "Who am I even when nothing is demanded of me?" This is where inner orientation matters. Not self-improvement, not reinvention, but reconnection. Reconnecting with internal signals, with values that aren't measures in KPIs, with a sense of self that doesn't require constant validation. This is often uncomfortable at first, especially for high performers, because stillness can feel like emptiness before it feels like grounding. So let's pause again. Right now, notice your body, not to analyze it, just to sense it. Is there a feeling of pressure, or perhaps a slight release as you listen? Your body often knows long before your mind does when identity has become too narrow. Leadership rooted in a stable inner sense of self feels different. Decisions become clearer, boundaries become easier, presence becomes more authentic. You are still effective, often more so, but you are no longer leading to prove your existence. You are leading from it. This is the work I often do with executives who say, "I have achieved everything I thought I wanted, and yet I feel strangely lost." That moment is not a failure, it's an invitation to expand identity beyond function, to reclaim parts of yourself that were set aside in the name of success. And this doesn't happen through insight alone. It happens through safe reflection, honest conversation, and nervous system regulation that allows the self to settle outside of constant doing. If you're questioning who you are beyond your role, or sensing that your identity has become too tightly bound to performance, you don't have to navigate that alone. I invite you to book a free initial consultation through my website, a calm, confidential space where we can explore what shifting internally and what kind of support would help you reconnect with yourself without losing your leadership strength. Thank you for taking this time to listen, and I'll see you in the next episode. And you can find more valuable insights in my other podcasts. Feel free to check them out. And please remember, be good to yourself and take care. You are important. See you soon, and of course, I would be delighted if you like to support my work by subscribing, liking, and sharing so that my podcasts reach all the people I would like to help. Thank you.